Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, still a while, for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 7 with my Tampa Bay Lightning Historical Challenge. Alright, so as I kind of hinted at the end of the last episode, I didn't really like the end of the month of December. December started okay. We had like that California trip. We did pretty good, won our games there, and we looked pretty dandy and everything, and then it looks like we just couldn't win anymore. Now I understand my lineup is not necessarily really strong, but I'm kind of wanting a little bit more from my team. I made a trade offer. We'll see if it's accepted or not. I've changed my tactics a little bit. I don't think we were playing exactly to where I wanted us to play, and I've moved my lines around a little bit as well. So we'll see what happens here. During the month of January, it looks like it's going to be a pretty busy month, so we're going to go ahead and get into it right away here. First on the menu, we are playing in Washington here against the Capitals. So Washington is 15, 16, and 6, and that's good for 8 in the East, the last playoff spot. For real this time. But it was my mistake in the past season, and we are 1-0 against Washington. We did win 3-2 against them earlier this season, so let's go ahead and see if we can win. Of course, as usual, go Lightning, go! Right, so as you can see, I've put Mikael Anderson back on the first line. I moved John Tucker on the second line to have kind of a playmaker to go with my 2 power forwards here, and then I moved Rob Zamuner on the third line to play with Bobby Elick and Jason Allison. I kept my fourth line as it is. We'll see here what happens. So we're gonna go ahead and have Jeff Hackett in net for this game, and Rick Tabaracci, who was recently acquired by the Capitals in a trade with the Jets, will be in net for the Washington Capitals. Alright, let's see if we can start January with a win. And we lost 5-4. Alright, looks like we were in the game, yeah, somehow. Washington did outshoot us 37-32. Peter Bonhomme was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and 2 assists. Bobby Elick was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Mikhail Pivonka was the third star with 3 assists. So Kelly Miller opened up the scoring for Washington in the first period. Then we tied the game. Mark Bergevin scored from Boris Mironov and Bobby Elick. It was tied at 1. Then Washington scored again, made it 2-1 Washington, and then we tied the game again. Bobby Elick scored from Kevin Lowe. It was tied at 2 here after 1. There was even a fight between Mike Hartman and Al Iafrati. Then in the second period, Washington scored again, take the 1-goal lead again, and then we tied the game yet again. Brent Gretzky scored from Doug Crossman and Rob Ramage. It was tied at 3 here, but before the end of the period, Washington scored again, made it 4-3 Washington after 2. Then, for the first time of the game, Washington took a 2-goal lead. It was 5-3. Then, with 1 minute 10 left to go in the period, Brian Bradley scored his 10th on the power play from Adam Creighton and Doug Crossman. It was 5-4, but we just ran out of time. We couldn't tie the game. So, it looks like we were in it as far as I can tell. We're going to have to see here. Alright, so no further action needed for Washington's Sylvain Cote. I saw that he had an illegal check to the head, so you can go head-hunting against my team and you think you're going to be okay. That's not okay. You can't do that. A strong night for Derek King here with the Islanders. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Waiters. Alright, and Takeshi Okubo is concerned about my work. We went 5-7-2 last month, so like I said, we started pretty good, but we had a pretty bad skid at the end of the month, so, you know, without that skid, our record would be a little bit better for that month, and maybe the owner wouldn't feel so shitty about it. We're going to put Chris Terry back in net. Jeff Hackett didn't win. I'm still going with that kind of mentality here until, you know, one of them starts winning with consistency. We are now going to be hosting the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. So that's our second game in 2 days. Anaheim is really not doing good. They are 7-31-2 in good old expansion team fashion. And we are 1-0 against Anaheim this season. So let's go ahead and see if we can win that one as well. I need a little bit more from my first line. I understand it's not the best first line in the league, but I still need for them to provide some offense. Alright, so Kirk McLean is going to be in net for Anaheim, and we are going to Chris Terreri. Alright, come on, we need a win here. It's a 2-2 tie against a really bad team, so not exactly happy with that result. We also got outshot 37-27. I also don't like that. Rob Ramage was the first star of the game. He had an assist. Gary Lehman was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Jason Allison was the third star with a goal. First goal in Tampa Bay, in his Tampa Bay uniform. Or jersey, rather. Alright, so we opened up the scoring in the first period. That was a Brian Bradley goal on the power play from Mikael Anderson and Danton Cole. And then Anaheim tied the game, so it was tied at 1 here after 1. Then in the second period, Jason Allison scored from Rob Ramage and Bobby Olick. It was 2-1 Tampa Bay after 2. But in the third period, Gary Lehman tied the game, and it stayed tied until the final buzzer. Nobody scored, and we had 11,415 people in attendance for this game, because I think I forgot to mention that. So, for those of you that followed my Franchise Hockey Manager 6 series with the Sens, looks like I'm not struggling as much with attendance, even though I'm losing. Could be that Tampa Bay is a bigger market, so I don't know if that was fixed. I know there was kind of a pretty bad situation where I was like winning, and I was still getting like 8,000 people a game because I had lost so much in the first few seasons. So I think it's still too early to tell if that's kind of fixed. I hope they did. I don't mind that mechanic that, you know, if you lose a lot, people come a little less, but it was a little too extreme for me, or for my own taste at least. Right, so we have Marc Bergevin, that's day-to-day apparently. Mike Modano extends his point streak to 13 games. He had an assist against Quebec. Good game for Mario Lemieux. He had 4 goals and an assist against Hartford. Yep, decent game. Alright, so those guys are getting acclimated. Oh, Yannick Perreault riled up with coach. I think that's a new news here. I don't remember seeing that in Franchise Hockey Manager 6, so what does that say here? Normally a leader in the Toronto Maple Leafs locker room, Yannick Perreault is rumored to have expressed a desire for the team's head coach, Pat Burns, to demand more of the other players who don't carry their weight around here. According to an anonymous teammate, Perreault reacted to the rumor of the news getting out of the media by saying, "It sounds worse than it was," but admitted there's more to the story than just that comment. It seems likely this incident won't necessarily bring the team and the coaching staff closer together. So Yannick Perreault being a little bit of a problem in the room. Maybe he's going to end up on the block, sorry. Alright, oh, and we're about to play Toronto, look at that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and sim one more day. Do I need to do anything with Marc Bergevin? Oh, I might have to. He has a minor facial cut. I'm gonna wait just in case that he stops bleeding before the next game. Okay, so they don't want to. I was kind of thinking that that was going to be the case, so I offered Steve Ruchin, yes, yet again, this time to the Oilers for Dave Manson, the very scary man that Ray Ferraro likes to point out, like every time that, at least when I watch the Suns and they play and Josh Manson, which is Dave Manson's son, is in the lineup and Ottawa plays them, he always mentions how he was scared of Dave Manson because he was a very scary man apparently, so that always makes me laugh. Ray Ferraro makes me laugh a lot. I do like his humor, but anyway, so alright, I'm gonna see if I can add. So here's the thing. So my scout is saying that You know, Edmonton has a weakness at left and right defense, but anytime that I add a defenseman, he thinks that they're not going to accept it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add to this. Oh, I'm looking at the... I was like, I don't recognize any of those names. That's because I'm not looking at my players. Alright, so... do I want to add Doug Crossman? Or maybe even Rob Ramage, maybe? Or Karpovtsev. Let's add Karpovtsev to it. Oops. You cannot drag and drop. You have to... Where did you go? Alright, let me go ahead and offer that again. And I can't because the... okay, so I have to maybe take a bad player from them back. Alright, so who's not too good? Here. Peter White. Let's see, I don't want to... okay. Oh, David Oliver. There you go. Let's add him. Alright. Alright, so they're gonna think about it for a little bit. Let's see what they think about now. Alright, so we are in Toronto to play against the Leafs. Toronto is 24-15-2. So decent record. We are 0-1 against the Leafs this season. Now I have to put Karpovtsev in the lineup after offering him for a trade. We don't want you, but we need you. Alright, let's go ahead and make sure that it's still the best. Yeah, I hate that I'm not getting any progress reports, so I don't know like who improves in what or at what time. We're gonna keep you as a mobile defenseman. See what happens here, and I'm just going to yeah, let's do this. Kevin Lowe is a lefty, so we're gonna put people... there you go. Oh yeah, there's not over here, but here you're gonna need to be somewhere. So yeah, we have a good example here of why I usually prefer to have a head coach. Like, it's a minor injury, like Mark Bergeron's gonna be back like in 3 seconds, and I have to do all of that. Of course I could let the assistant do that, but we can put Crossman here for this. It's gonna be for like, what, 1 game maybe? Alright. Okay, so playing in Toronto for real this time. Oh wait, we didn't win last game with Krister in net, so Jeff Hackett gets in. Alright, so we are still winless with my new lines and tactics. That's not good. Jeff Hackett in net for us. Felix Potvin is going to be in net for the Leafs. And we are going to win this game 4-3. Alright, we just beat a pretty good team. Pretty happy with that, I have to admit. Although we were outshot again, then again, you know, we're not all that great. So 33-25, the shots in favor of the Leafs. Mikael Anderson had a pretty strong game. First star, 2 goals, 2 assists. Zemlichka for Toronto, second star with 2 goals, and Brian Bradley was the third star with a goal and 2 assists. Mikael Anderson opened up the scoring in the first period. That was his 10th of the season on the power play from Brian Bradley and Doug Crossman. It is 1-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Bunch of penalties in the first period. Then in the second period, we scored 3 unanswered goals. So Brian Bradley scored on the power play from Mikael Anderson and Sean Chambers. Then Mikael Anderson scored on the power play as well from Danton Cole. And then Bobby Elick scored his 10th from Mikael Anderson and Brian Bradley. It is 4-0 Tampa Bay at that point. And then Toronto scored and made it 4-1 Tampa Bay here after 2. A bunch of penalties as well in the second period. Wow, we don't like each other. And then Toronto scored twice in the third period, but we managed to hold up and not give up the tying goal, so we won 4-3. Alright, nice game here in Toronto. Nice road game. We gotta win. Lots of penalties, though. A strong game for Ross Courtnall. He had 4 assists against the Chicago Blackhawks. Mike Modano has a memorable game. He had 5 goals and an assist in that same game. And that was 14 straight games for him with a point. Vyacheslav Kozlov in Detroit is not suspended. Ray Shepherd in that same game extends his point streak to 14 games with an assist against the Blues. And Steve Yzerman extends his point streak to 15 games with an assist in that same game. Stevie Y still being a very good player. He would look really good in a Tampa Bay jersey. I mean, I know he was the Tampa Bay mastermind for a little bit, but I wouldn't mind having him on my team, but I cannot afford him. There's no amount of first round draft picks that I could throw at them that would make it worth it. Alright, so Edmonton still don't want my offer. Alright, Mark Bergevin's feeling better. Reaction to offer from Edmonton Oilers. Alright, so they don't want. Alright, so let's remove you. Let's remove you. Of course they won't. We already offered them that. What if I add a third round draft pick? Alright, this is my last offer. If you don't want that, I'm giving up. I'm having problems making trades in this save. Although I did snatch Jason Haddison, but it was not a trade that I initiated. But that was a pretty good trade. Well, I did initiate the trade of Roman Amerlik for Bill Guerin, I guess. Oh, Rick Tabaracci now has been put on waivers by Washington shortly after being acquired in a trade. That's interesting. Suspension for Philadelphia's Marchenko. He is going to miss 1 game. Mike Modano extends his point streak to 15 games with an assist against the Flyers in that same game. Ray Shepherd extends his point streak to 15 games as well with a goal against the Sharks. But Steve Yzerman ended his at 15. He did not get a point against the Sharks in that same game. Alright. Oh. Peter Draisaitl. Too bad it's not Leon. I'd take Leon from the waivers. A big game for Dave Andreychuk with the Buffalo Sabres. He had 3 goals at trick against Pittsburgh. Alright, and now we are back at home to play against the the Philadelphia Flyers. We are the Tampa Bay Lightning. Minor lapse in my brain. At least I hope it's minor. So Philadelphia's not doing all that good. They are 13, 21, and 7. That's good for 11th in the East. We are 1-0-1 against the Flyers this season. So perhaps we can beat them again. Stefan Beauregard is going to be in net for Philadelphia. We are going to go with Jeff Hackett. He did win last game, so he gets to play again. And it's another 4-3 victory here at home against the Flyers. Pretty good. Oh, we outshot the Flyers 40-32. Brian Bradley was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Mikael Renberg was the second star with an assist. And Mikael Anderson was the third star with 2 goals. Looks like it's doing Mikael Anderson some good to be back on the first line here. That's a second strong game in a row that he's having. So we had 10,547 people in attendance for this game. Mikael Anderson scored the first goal of the game 35 seconds into the first period from Sean Chambers and Brian Bradley. Then Rob Ramage scored a rare goal from Jason Allison and Bobby Elick. And Mikael Anderson scored again from Danton Cole and Brian Bradley. And it was 3-0 Tampa Bay here after 1. Then in the second period, Philadelphia woke up and they scored 3 unanswered goals to tie the game. So after 2, we were tied at 3. And then late in the third period, Bill Guerin scored on the power play. That was a game winner from Brian Bradley and John Tucker. And it is a 4-3 victory here. Oh, bunch of penalties in the third period. Tempers flared up, apparently. Oh, I don't need that. He was starting to play good. Mikael Anderson is hurt. We're going to take a look at that before the next game, just in case here. Alright, so... Oh, yeah, he's going to miss 3 weeks. I'm going to need to do something about that. Alright, so Edmonton really don't want to trade Dave Manson to me, so I am not going to make another offer. That's it. So Tampa Bay, Anderson will miss 3 weeks. What does he have? A strained quad. Marchenko in Philadelphia is back from suspension. Oh, Barry Melrose was fired as the coach for the Kings. So the Kings are 14-25-1. They've had enough, and they hire Mike Milbury to be the coach. Just don't put him in the front office. You're gonna regret it. Ray Shepherd extends his point streak to 16 games. Goal and 2 assists here against the Kings. Brett Hull extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal and 2 assists against the Mighty Ducks. Dave Babich got 500 assists in his career with an assist against Toronto. So Dave Babich is 32 and he is a 2.5-star player. Trevor Linden set everything up tonight with a goal and 4 assists against Toronto in that same game. In that same game, Petr Nedved also had a good game. He had 4 goals. Good game indeed. Jeremy Roenick has a great game against Washington. He had 3 goals and an assist. Bergeron's feeling better. Alright, we are not going to be pursuing him anymore. So now I have to... do that. I'm going to recall somebody. Alright, so we have Steve Malte. Okay. Alright, sorry, I'm always kind of silent when I'm recalling people. I'm kind of checking at who's doing good and whatnot. I'm going to recall Semyonov. He's probably not going to play anyway, but I'm still recalling him. And I think I'm going to go ahead and scratch Karpovtsev and put Bergeron back in since Bergeron's doing better. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here. And it's gonna take me a second to mess with my lines. I'll be right back. Alright, so yeah, it hurts to lose a player like Mikael Anderson to injury, even if it's only for a few weeks. I'd much rather have him in the lineup, that's for sure. So Vili Peltonen gets in the lineup. I've put Zamuner back on the first line, and Peltonen's going to play on the third. We'll see what happens with all that. Mike Modano extends his point streak to 16 games. He got 2 assists against the Blues. And Marc Bergevin is on the verge of returning. Actually, he's already in the lineup. I decided to put him back right now since I was already making changes. So we are going to be in New York to play against the Rangers. Actually, it's a 4-game road trip that's starting. The Rangers are really good. They are 28, 9-4. They are sitting atop of the Eastern Conference by quite a big margin. But we managed to go 2-1-1 against the Rangers this season. So we've been playing them pretty good. We got what? That's... we got 5 points on a possibility of 8. Out of them, so that's definitely good, especially when you look at our record. So taking the top team like that, that's pretty cool. So Jeff Hackett gets to be in net again because he's won a couple games in a row, and Mike Richter is going to be in net for the Rangers. It's going to be a tough one. Yeah, we lost 4-0. We lost one of our best forwards for that game, and I think that it kind of showed. We didn't generate a lot of offense. We were outshot 36-15. Medrick was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Doug Waite was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Mike Gartner was the third star with 2 goals. There was a fight in the second period between Mark Massey and Mike Hartman, but that was the only thing of note for us. Alright, so Mike Gartner has accomplished 600 goals in his career with a goal against us. Actually, he had 2. So 600 goals, Mike Gartner, 34 years old, still a 3.5-star player. And it was 5 straight games for him with a goal. Sergei Fedorov. Oh, look at that. Okay, so those of you that have watched my Franchise Hockey Manager 6 series, you know that in that save for me, Sergei Fedorov had a really goofy face, and I made a lot of jokes about it. He looks normal in this save, so glad to see that you don't look like you've been hit in the face by a shovel. So welcome to normalcy, Sergei Fedorov. Alright, so with that being said, he is day-to-day for 5 days in Detroit. Ray Shepard's point streak ended at 16 games. He was held scoreless against Anaheim. And Marc Bergevin is feeling a lot better. Alright, so... Oh, another... There we go. Ross Courtnall extends his point streak to 12 games. He got a goal here against the Oilers. And Mike Modano extends his point streak to 17 games. In that same game, he had a goal and an assist. And that was 8 straight games with an assist for him. Wayne Gretzky extends his assist streak to 8 games against the Sharks. Got 1 assist. Great night for Timo Utsila with the Sharks. In that same game, he had 4 assists. Jason Harnott had a great game for the Leafs. He had a goal and 5 assists. Wow. And great night for Wendell Clark in that same game. He had 2 goals and 4 assists, so the Leafs just crushed Washington there. Alright, so we're going to play 2 games in 2 nights. We're starting in Detroit, and we're going to send Chris Terreri. Sorry, Chris, nothing against you, but it's probably going to be a bombardment. So it's going to be our first game of the year against Detroit. They are pretty good. They are 27-9-4, so pretty similar to the Rangers as far as the record goes. Let's take a look here. Alright, so Sergei Fedorov may or may not play that game. He is hurt. Tim Shovelday and Vincent Riendo in net. Oh, Tim Shovelday took a drop in ratings there. He's only a 1.5 star anymore. And on D, we have Biakin, Mark A, Nick Lidstrom, Yves Ressin, Steve Chiasson, Konstantinov, and Wilkie. Then... Oh, God, okay. Never mind. I thought that I read that wrong. I thought that Nick Lidstrom was a star and a half, and I was like, wait, there's something wrong here. But now he's 3.5 stars. He's not fully developed yet. He's 23, so never mind that. So Schonber, Gallant, Kozlov, Sinisalo, Eisenbart, Fedorov, Primo, Sillinger, Eiserman, Cicerelli, Drake, Abscheid, Probert, and Shepard. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. Their only kind of weakness they have is in net. So if we can, like, score on whichever goaltender they send, we may have a chance, but we don't have a high-scoring team. It's going to be pretty tough here in Detroit. So Chris Terry is going to be in net for us. We are going to be facing Vincent Riendo. And we lost 3-1. I was kind of expecting for that one to be a lot. Ooh, we were outshot 39-13 in that one. That's not good. Sergei Fedorov did play. He was the first star. He had 2 assists. Kevin Lowe was the second star with a goal, and Steve Yzerman was the third star with a goal and an assist. So Detroit scored first in the first period, and then late in the first, Kevin Lowe tied the game on the power play from Rob DiMaio and Brian Bradley. It was tied at 1 here after 1. Then in the second period, Detroit scored a goal, made it 2-1. And then they completed that with another goal in the third period, made it 3-1. So nothing much to report here. It sounded like a scheduled loss, and it was a loss. Alright, so Alexander Alexiev. I'm gonna pass. Dave Taylor will miss 6 months with the Kings. Yikes. What happened? A ruptured ulnar. Oh, he has a ruptured UCL. Okay. Oh wow, that was a rough game for the Kings. So Dave Taylor is hurt and he's out, and so is Rob Blake. He's out for 3 months with a fractured vertebrae in the neck. Wow. So just in one game like that, the Kings lost, 2 starting players, and the Kings just got, Mike Milbury as the coach, and now he's out without 2 elements. He's without 2 elements to try to prove himself as a coach. Wayne Gretzky did extend his assist streak to 9 games in that gruesome game against the Raiders. He had 2 goals and an assist. Peter Stastny played in his 1000th game with New Jersey, and he celebrated with 2 goals against Montreal. So Peter Stastny, 37 years old, 2.5 star player still. And Joe Sakic extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal against the Canucks. Alright, and we continue the road trip immediately with another game here against Chicago. We're sending Jeff Hackett in net for that one. Chicago is 13-23-6. They are struggling, and despite that, we are 0-1-0 against Chicago this season. We lost 2-0 against them. We need a win here. I would appreciate a win. Jeff Hackett for us. Ed Belfour for the Hawks. Oh, we won 6-3. Decent game here. We were outshot 32-31, so pretty even there. Brian Bradley was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and 2 assists. Danton Cole was the second star with a goal and 3 assists, and Rob Zamuner was the third star with 2 assists. Alright, so we open up the scoring 10 seconds into the first period with a Kevin Lowe goal from Rob Zamuner and Danton Cole. Then the Hawks scored, tied the game at 1. Then we scored 2 goals. Boris Mironov scored a rare goal. That was short-handed from Brian Bradley. Then Danton Cole on the power play from Sean Chambers and Adam Creighton. It was 3-1. And then Chicago scored 1 more goal before the end of the period, and it was 3-2 Tampa Bay here after 1. There was a fight between Brian Marchment and Mike Hartman. Alright, and then we scored 2 goals here in the second period. Adam Creighton scored on the power play from Sean Chambers and Brian Bradley. Then Brian Bradley from Danton Cole and Rob Zamuner. It was 5-2 Tampa Bay after 2. We made it 6-2 with a Brian Bradley power play goal from Danton Cole and Sean Chambers, and then the Hawks scored, made it 6-3, but our lead was too big. They couldn't tie the game. So it looks like we scored quite a few power play goals. We made them pay for their indiscipline, and I'm taking the 2 points. Thank you. Lemieux is hurt day to day for the Pittsburgh Penguins, 4 days, so nothing to be too worried about over there. Ross Courtnall extends his point streak to 13 games. He did score a goal against Toronto. Mike Modano extends his point streak to 18 games. In that same game, he got 2 assists. And that was 9 straight with assists for him. And Mikael Anderson is already starting to feel a little bit better. Please do. We do need you, even though we just won. Alright, and we're going to conclude that road trip with a couple days off in Winnipeg. After a couple days off. God, English is hard. And then it's going to be a super long homestead. Actually, we're going to finish the month at home after that. So let's go ahead and get us to the game against the Jets. Ross Courtnall's point streak ended at 13 games. It was held scoreless against the Red Wings. So did Modano, so for him it was 18 straight games, scoreless, so of course his assist streak of 9 is also over. Memorable game for Brian Bellows of Montreal. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Islanders. And Mike Gartner extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal and 2 assists against Philadelphia. Right, so Reginald, well, he's called Reggie, but it was Reginald Savage. He is on waivers, and so is Renato Tosio. Wayne Gretzky extends his assist streak to 10 games with an assist against the Devils, the Mickey Mouse team that he named himself. A prolific passing night for Valery Kamensky, who had a goal and 4 assists against the Washington Capitals. And Randy Ladouceur is suspended with the Whalers. He's going to miss 5 games. And I know I mentioned it in Franchise Hockey Manager 6, but, you know, Ladouceur has always been a weird last name for me for a hockey player, and now especially since he's being suspended, because in French, Ladouceur means like the tenderness or the softness. And, you know, that's not exactly words that you want to associate with a hockey player. Alright, so we are in Winnipeg to play against the Jets. We're keeping Jeff Hackett in net. He won his last game. Winnipeg is struggling. So they had a pretty good season last season, but they're struggling this year. They are 16, 23, and 8 right now. However, we are 0-1 against the Jets. We did lose 5-4 earlier this season against them. Let's see if we can beat them this time. So we're going to go with Jeff Hackett. They are going with Alexei Shervyakov. And it's a 4-4 tie. I'll take it. We're a little bit on a roll here, especially since Winnipeg looks like they've played better than us. So they had 42 shots, we had 27. Phil Housley was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Sean Chambers was the second star with a goal and 2 assists, and Frederick Lawson was the third star with an assist. So all defensemen for the Stars here. Alright, so Winnipeg took a 2-0 lead into the first period. And then in the second period, Adam Creighton scored on the power play from Sean Chambers and Brian Bradley. It was 2-1 Winnipeg at that point. We had a fight between Rudy Postchek and Mike Hartman. And then we tied the game in the third period. Brian Bradley scored his 15th on the power play from Sean Chambers and Danton Cole. And then Sean Chambers from Bill Guerin and John Tucker made it 3-2. Then the Jets tied the game, and then we took the lead. Vili Peltonen scored from Jason Allison and Bobby Elick, made it 4-3, and then with 1 second left to go in the third period, the Jets tied the game at 4. We had that. That could have been a win. Wow. With 1 second to go. So we ended up with a tie. Of course, nobody scored in overtime. Also, Rob Ramage took a diving penalty. The veteran tried to get a call, and he got cut. Alright, and we play right tomorrow at home against Detroit. So Paul Coffey extends his point streak to 12 games. He got 2 assists against Philadelphia. And that was 8 straight games with an assist for him. And Gretzky's assist streak ended at 10 games. Did not get a point in that game against the Flyers. Alright, so Detroit's in town. Sorry, Chris Terreri. Looks like you're the designated goaltender for Detroit, but it seems like Jeff Hackett cannot win the game prior to a Detroit game, so that's what happens. Alright, so Detroit is now 29-9-5, and of course we lost not too long ago 3-1 in Detroit, so let's see if with the comfort of home, let's see if we can do better here. Alright, so Tim Chevaldet in net for them. We're going with Chris Terreri. Oh, we did, and we won by shutout too. We won 2-0 against the Detroit Red Wings. That's a crazy good game here. Detroit did outshoot us 29-25. Chris Terreri first star of the game with 29 saves and the shutout. Mark Howe was the second star despite not getting any points, and Doug Crossman was the third star with a goal and an assist. We had 12,285 people witness this feat. So Bobby Elick opened up the scoring in the first period from Rob Zamuner and Doug Crossman, and then Doug Crossman scored his fifth from Bill Guerin. It was 2-0 Tampa Bay. That score would hold until the end of the game. Not much more to report here. I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, John Tucker is improving on left wing. That's good. That's good. I don't mind that at all. Alright, we're going to go ahead and continue simming. So in 2 days, we're going to go ahead and play against the Islanders, and Chris Terreri gets to stay in net. Mikhailuk is... yeah, I'm not picking him up. Paul Coffey's point streak ended at 12 games. Didn't get a point against Dallas, which means his assist streak ended at 8 games as well. Brettel has produced 400 goals in his career with 2 goals against the Rangers. 29-year-old Brettel, 4.5-star player. And Esa Tikkanen is suspended. He's going to miss 6 games with the Oilers. Alright, so we are hosting the New York Islanders now. Now the Islanders are doing pretty good. They are 25-14-4. That's good for third in the East. We are 0-1 against the Islanders this season. We lost 4-3 earlier this season. So I would like a victory here to balance things out. Alright, so Glenn Healy in net for the Islanders. We are going with Chris Terreri. We lost 3-2. So it looks like we were in it. Yeah, we outshot them 33-32. It was a pretty even game. Pierre Turgeon was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Brian Bradley was the second star with an assist. And Marty McInnes was the third star with a goal and an assist. So the Islanders scored the first goal of the game in the first period. Then in the second period, Adam Creighton scored his 15th from Bill Guerin and Vili Peltonen, and then Danton Cole from Sean Chambers and Brian Bradley. It was 2-1 Tampa Bay at that point, but then the Islanders tied the game before the end of the second period, and we were tied at 2 after 2. Then Marty McInnes played the hero about halfway into the third period, scoring the game winner, and we couldn't tie the game, so we lost 3-2. And in case I forgot to say it, we had 10,119 people in attendance for this game. Jason Allison improves at right wing. That's good. Now if you can get more stars here and be a little bit more dominant or better, not even dominant, just better, that would be good. Alright, we're going to put Hackett back in net. Now we have, what, 5 days off or something? Yeah, 5 days off before we play the Sabres, still at home. So there's 3 games left here in January. Looks like we're going to see the 2D game against the Sharks. Hopefully it's going to be a better result than the very first time we played the Sharks in 2D. It was a 0-0 game, and so was our last 2D game against the Ottawa Senators. Alright, so Dale Howard-Chuck played in his 1000th game in his career, celebrated that with a goal against Edmonton. Dale Howard-Chuck, 30 years old, still a 3-star player. Alright, yep. Okay, nothing much happened here. Oh, it might be the All-Star game break. That's why we have 5 days off. Yeah, nobody's playing. It's the All-Star game. Alright, and now we are returning to action here. We are going to be playing against the Buffalo Sabres, who are in town. They are 15-30-1. They are good for dead last in the East with that record, and we are 1-1 against Buffalo this season. Let's see if we can beat them again. Let's beat on the week. So Dominic Hasek is going to be in net for Buffalo. We're going to go with Jeff Hackett. And it's a 5-2 win for the Lightning. Good game here. We outshot Buffalo 38-27. Boris Mironov was the first star. He had a goal and an assist. Bobby Olick was the second star with an assist. And Brian Bradley was a third star with a goal and an assist. We had 11,464 people in attendance for the game. Danton Cole opened up the scoring in the first period from Bobby Elick and Sean Chambers, and then Buffalo tied the game, so it was tied at 1 here after 1. We scored twice in the second period. Bill Guerin scored from Adam Creighton and Rob Ramage, then Brian Bradley on the power play from Danton Cole and Adam Creighton. It was 3-1 Tampa Bay after 2. And in the third period, the Sabres came to within 1 here with Pat LaFontaine's 20th goal of the season. But then Rob Zamuner scored his 5th short-handed from Boris Mironov and Brian Bradley. And then late in the game, Boris Mironov added an insurance marker in an empty net from Mark Bergevin and Vili Peltonen. And it was a 5-2 victory. We did have a Brad May and Mike Hartman fight here in the third period. Alright, so Arto Blumsten is available on waivers. Bob Beers is suspended here for Boston. He's going to miss 5 games. Oh, in that same game, Adam Oates got hurt. He's going to miss three weeks against Hartford again. Wow, Hartford's playing nasty. It's the team that took out Dave Taylor and Paul Coffey from, or was it Coffey or Rob Blake? Rob Blake, I think, from the Kings. Ooh, so the Bruins got rid of their coach and they hired Barry Trotz, and now they're thinking of getting rid of Barry Trotz again. Boston is 20-25-1, so they might change coaches twice in the same season. Pat Verbeek has a memorable game. He had 4 assists in that game against Boston. Strong night for Craig Janney in St. Louis. He had a goal and 4 assists against Anaheim. And good night for Brendan Shanahan, who had 3 goals and an assist against Anaheim as well. Alright, so last game that's going to be simmed here before we watch the 2D game. Alright, so Dana Merzen is available. Oh, I might pick him up, actually. And then Claude Loisel, and then Medrick is, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm going to claim Dana Merzen. Jeff Brown extends his point streak to 12 games. He had 2 goals against the Vancouver Canucks. And Barry Trotz is gone. Alright, so who's the coach now? Bob Belmore. Alright. And then there's been a trade between the Rangers and the Blues. Right, so Phil Bourque and Henrik Abe are going to St. Louis for Brett Edikan and Jeff Sargent. Yeah, the Rangers won that trade pretty easy. Bad trade for St. Louis. The Rangers with a good trade here. That's why they can afford to lose Dana Merzen on waivers, because they got Brett Edikan for spare parts, basically. So the Rangers here getting better. Alright. Okay, so I don't have the numbers now. or somebody else might claim him. I'm not I'm not dead last in the league, so maybe like Buffalo's gonna take him before me, or something. So we are going. Did we win our last game? We did, didn't we? It's easy in my head for a second here. Let's take a look here. I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, we won against Buffalo 5-2, so I'm keeping Jeff Hackett in net for that game. I lost my train of thought with the Dana Merzen claim and whatnot. Alright, so Florida's in town. Now they had started the season really strong for an expansion team. Now they're back to a little bit more what they should be, I guess. They are 18, 22, and 5, still a lot better than Anaheim. And they are 10th in the East with that record. However, we've really struggled against them. We are 0-3-1 against Florida this season. So as much as we've played pretty good against the Rangers, we've struggled against the Florida Panthers. Ron Tugnut is going to be in net for the Panthers. We are going to go with Jeff Hackett. Oh, now that's a win. 5-1, finally. Finally, we beat the Panthers. We outshot them 32-22. Brent Gretzky was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Mark Bergevin was the second star with 2 assists. And Rob Ramage was the third star with an assist as well. 11,144 people in attendance in Tampa Bay for that game. Sean Chambers scored first from Brent Gretzky in the first period. Then Florida tied the game late, and it was tied at 1 here after 1. Then in the second period, we scored twice. Doug Crossman scored from Danton Cole and Rob Zamiener, then Brent Gretzky from Rob Ramage and Bobby Elick. It was 3-1 Tampa Bay here after 2. And there was a fight between Mike Hartman and Stephen Finn. And then in the third period, Ville Peltonen scored from Mark Bergevin and Jason Allison, and then Adam Creighton from Bill Guerin and Mark Bergevin. And it was a 5-1 victory. Pretty convincing win here near the end of the month. Yeah, I know that there's interesting players on waivers. I am trying to claim one. Oh, we got him. Okay. So, great night for Gaetan Duchesne with Dallas. He had a hat-trick against the Flames. Good game for Mike Modano in that same game. He had 5 assists. Alright, so we got Dana Merzen. So, not a world beater. See, he was 2 stars. Now he's a star and a half. Alright, Mikael Anderson ready for contact. Alright, that's good. And minor injury for Ray Bork. He's going to miss 4 days. Alright, so what do I do here with Dana Merzen, Karpovtsev, and... I guess I'm going to send Karpovtsev down because he doesn't have to clear waivers. And go work on your game. You've been unimpressive when you've been in the lineup. And I'm keeping a little bit of a veteran. He's more of a defensive defenseman, Dana Merzen. Not going to impress me with his scoring prowesses or anything like that. But, yeah, he was a 2-star, dropped as soon as I picked him up. Probably hurt himself getting on the plane or something. Alright, so, in 2 days, the Sharks are going to be in town, and that's going to be our 2D game of the video. And for the first time in a while, it's going to be Jeff Hackett and not Chris Terreri in it. Suspension for Marty McSorley with the Kings. He's going to miss 3 games. Randy Ladouceur is back from suspension with the Whalers. Jaromir Jagr has a memorable game. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Quebec Nordiques. And Mikael Anderson back sooner rather than later. Alright, so we are about to see Mikael Anderson back in the lineup here. With some luck, it's going to be against San Jose. No. Okay, so Theo Fleury in Calgary is out for 3 weeks with a strained hamstring, so that's going to hurt the Flames. They have a good record, though. And it's only 3 weeks, so it's not the end of the world. Joe Nieuwendyk in that same game extended his assist streak to 8 games with an assist against the Devils. And that was, Jeff Brown extended his point streak to 13 games against the Oilers with a goal. And Anderson is almost ready, but just not quite. Alright, so 2D game of the day is going to be at home against the San Jose Sharks. They are 19-27-2. And we are 1-0 against the Sharks. We did win a pretty impressive 9-3 game in San Jose earlier this season. Actually, it was on the last video. I was pretty happy with that result. So now we're going to go ahead and play against San Jose. Jeff Hackett's going to be in net because he just won here. And I forgot what I was going to say. And I'm sorry for that. Alright. So, Jeff Hackett in net, Sergei Abramov in net for the Sharks. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. And hopefully it is not a 0-0 game again. That would be bad. Alright, so let's look at the options here. So we're good. I always check my options, especially there was an update for the game. So sometimes when there's updates and everything, it reverts back to default settings. So just a precaution I'm taking, and I suggest you do the same if you play the game whenever. And it's true for any game, not just for Franchise Hockey Manager. Whenever a company puts out an update, always check your settings back just in case, because sometimes the updates are going to reset those. Alright, so with that being said, let's drop the puck. Well, I'm not dropping the puck, but you know. Alright, so we're on the right here for the first time in a while, it feels like. Alright. Let's stop the Sharks. Go Lightning, go. I'm turning into a Lightning fan. Not really, that would be too easy. They're pretty good in real life right now, so that would be too easy to... I'm not a bandwagon fan, I've been a Sens fan since the Quebec Nordiques moved to Colorado, so I've been a Sens fan for a while. With all the ups and downs that comes with it. Ray Whitney, cross-checking. 2 minutes, minor. Alright, so we're going on the power play with 16:20 left to go in the first period. Of course, still scoreless here. Oh! Well, we got a chance. We didn't score, but we got a chance. Yeah, you guys need to pass the puck a little here. Like that guy had 3 guys on him. Alright, power play's over. Oh, my stupid cursor isn't... Oh, he's not... It's not in the screen. Alright, still no score. Come on. Come on, little squares. Come on, little black squares today. Oh. We're shooting from a distance a lot. Look at that. I mean, we're piling on the shots on goal, but those are not great scoring chances. Goaltenders typically are going to be stopping, pucks from a distance if they can see it. That's why you want to put traffic in front of the net. If you're, playing hockey, you want to get in front of the goaltender so they can't see the shots all that good. And maybe you can get a tip. Maybe the puck hits you in the leg or something and it goes in or something. That's a save. Let's go, Jeff Hackett. Alright, first period is Coming to a close soon here. Everybody's slow for some reason. Come on. Oh, Rob Ramage took a penalty here late in the period, sending San Jose on the power play with 49 seconds left to go in the first period. Oh, Pat Falloon with the chance there, and again. Alright, first period is over. Looks like, oh, we got 20 shots on goal, they got 6. So it looks like we're playing better than they are, but we just couldn't score. Crossman got 5 shots, Creighton got 4. Wow, look at us. Alright, so we have to kill the penalty here at the start of the second period. Oh yeah, that was a bad pass. So that's a short-handed goal scored by Rob Zamuner from Brian Bradley. Oh, and the Tampa Bay Lightning is not only up 1-0, but they ensure that this game is not going to end 0-0. Which, you know, typically people want to see goals in a hockey game. You know, I've seen some very entertaining 1-0 games and whatnot, but, you know, typically, you know, you want to see goals. That's the old purpose of hockey, is to score more goals than the other team. And I guess it depends on your perspective too. I guess maybe if you were a defenseman type of guy and you watch a hockey game, maybe you can appreciate the defense aspect of it a little bit more. It's kind of, oh, Boris Mironov took a penalty here, so we have to kill that. It's kind of like me with baseball. I was a pitcher in the little leagues, so for me, you know, big pitcher duels in baseball is what I find the most interesting, so I don't mind at all when the game ends 2-1, but most people prefer to see, like, you know, home runs and stuff. So Pat Falloon took a penalty, so that negates their power play. Only 23 seconds in. Alright, so it's 4-on-4 hockey here for a minute and some change. Come on, little square. You can do it. I believe in you. Oh. Dean Evason took a penalty. Oh, it's a fighting penalty. Who did you fight? Mark Bergevin. Alright, so 4-on-4. Now Sean Chambers took a penalty, so it should be a 4-on-3, but there's a bug with that, unless they fixed it with that update. Let's see. No, it's 5-on-4, so they haven't fixed that yet. Alright, so 1-0 here for Tampa Bay in the second period. And it's a save from Jeff Hackett. Alright, San Jose has 3 seconds of power play. And that should be an icing. It is. Oh. No. We had a good chance there. Couldn't put the puck in the net, though. Come on, play him tight. Good. Good job by Rob Ramage there. The veteran playing his position pretty well. Defensively, of course, not going to be scoring many goals. Although I think he has, like, what, 4 or 5 this season so far? It's not that bad for Rob Ramage. Alright. Not a lot of stoppages right now. Rob Ramage took another penalty. Okay, so San Jose goes back on the power play here with 4:27 left to go in the second period. Come on. Come on, people. I'm not paying you for that nonsense. Alright, power play's over. Alright, we dumped the puck. Alright, second period's almost over. We have a very small lead here. Alright, so the period is over. So 2 periods in the books here in Tampa Bay. We are up 1-0 thanks to a short-handed goal. We have 30 shots on goal total. They have 16. Let's play that third period. Let's hold the lead and add to it. That's an icing. Alright. Holding the stick for Kevin Lowe. Alright, we're taking another penalty here. Let's go ahead and kill that. San Jose is going on the power play. We need to kill that. Oh, Hackett here strong with a couple saves. Yeah, we've been giving Tampa Bay not Tampa Bay, San Jose a lot of chances. Oh, come on, little guy. Yes. Rob DiMaio, another shorty, assisted by Rob Ramage. So we scored twice in this game, and both times were short-handed. Maybe we need to take more penalties. No, don't do that, please. Sometimes I feel my computer is listening to me. I mean, not really. I'm not... I don't believe that, you know, my electronics are spying on me. I mean, there are certain things going on with phones and everything, but... Alright. Alright, so we... Oh, another goal. So we are up 3-0 now. Bill Guerin from Adam Creighton and Rob Ramage has himself a 3-assist game so far. Am I right? No, 2 assists. Sorry, got that wrong. But still... Alright, so we are up 3-0 in the third period with 15:21 left to go. Alright, I like our chances right now, unless we have a major collapse. And maybe I shouldn't jinx myself, because we have had problems holding on to leads sometimes. Alright, that was an offside. Oh, I thought it was in. Alright, come on. Oof, 3 guys on you. Can't do much, huh? Nick Kiprios got a penalty for fighting, and Danton Cole. Ooh. Alright. Alright. Alright, 9:52 left to go in the third period. Still up 3-0 here in Tampa Bay against the Sharks. We had a much better month here in January. I'm a lot happier with the results. We did get outshot in most games, but I'm going to attribute that to talent on the team. We don't really have a superstar. Our closest thing to a superstar is Brian Bradley. He's pretty good, but he's not a superstar. He's not, Stevie Y or something. All right. Come on. Uh-oh. I thought he was going to go and pass. Oh, nah, that was a weak shot. All right, 4:20 left to go in the third period. Oh, good save by Hackett. Three minutes left. Come on, guys. Let's add another one. Alright, holds up 2:07 left to go in the third period. We are still up 3-0. Oh. Their goaltender has made quite a few saves. We had a lot of shots. We've really played well this game. And the third period is over, and we won 3-0. So nice victory here at home. 3-0 to end the month, so that's pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and check here. So we outshot San Jose 42-22. Rob Ramage was the first star. He had 2 assists. Sean Chambers was the second star with an assist, and Adam Creighton was the third star with an assist as well. 12,585 people in attendance for this game. So we had no goals in the first period. Then in the second period, Rob Zamuner scored shorthanded from Brian Bradley and Boris Mironov. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay at that point. Then there was a fight between Mark Bergevin and Dean Evason. Then in the third period, Rob DiMaio also scored shorthanded from Rob Ramage and Sean Chambers. And then Bill Guerin scored his 10th of the season from Adam Creighton and Rob Ramage. It was 3-0, and we also had a fight between Danton Cole and Nick Kyprios. John Tucker improves at left wing again. Good for him. Alright, so we have a couple days left to sim here before we get into February. Rebork is still day-to-day here, so he just had a day-to-day injury, and now it looks like he got another one. Jeff Brown extends his point streak to 14 games with an assist against the Flames. Joe Nieuwendyk extends his assist streak to 9 games with a goal and an assist in that same game against the Blues. And Ray Shepherd has a memorable game. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Jets. Alright, so that's my scouting. And then Mikael Anderson is ready to come back. That is great news. Oh, I have to put him back now, or else I'm gonna get a message. Alright, Semyonov, you can go back. Okay, so now we're gonna scratch Peltonen. You did okay, but Mikael Anderson is definitely better than you at this point of your respective careers. Alright, so Tech 6 players. Yep, that's still your best role. That hasn't changed, so we're going to keep you as that. And I'm putting you back straight on the first line. Alright, and you're We're going to go back on the power play, of course. You are doing so good, too. That sucks for you. You are doing really good with your points and everything. Then you got hurt, and then it stopped because you couldn't play. Alright, that should do it. Alright, so we're gonna keep Hackett in net because he's been winning and he's on fire now. And we have one more click to do. There we go. Alright, so Brian Trottier played in his 1,250 game in his career. Didn't get a point. That was against Boston. So 37 years old Brian Trottier is 2.5-star player playing for Quebec right now. Good night for Joe Sakic in that game. He had a hat-trick against Boston. Jaromir Jagr extends his assist streak to 8 games with 2 goals and an assist against the Rangers. Mark Recchi signed an extension with the Flyers. So that's a 4-year contract, and it's $3.76 million total, not per year. Again, keep in mind we are in 1994, so the salaries are a little lesser than now. And the players of the month were John Van Beesbrook and Pierre Turgeon. Alright, so 2 pretty good players. I have no problems with that. Alright, so here is where we're standing, and believe it or not, we're not that far off from a playoff spot. So, despite our record, so we are 18, 25, and 8, so our record is not very good, but, you know, so is the conference. There's a bit of struggles there. We are within striking distance. Now, are we going to make the playoffs? I think we're going to run out of juice eventually, probably at least. But we're 9th right now. We're 3 points behind the Hartford Whalers, who are 8. And we have the same amount of games played right now. So, who knows? Now, of course, there's a bunch of teams that are just behind us and just waiting for us to lose a couple games, including the Florida Panthers, who have 3 games on us. So, who knows? Now, in the West here, Dallas is first, and then Calgary, and then Detroit. Now, Detroit would be second if it wasn't for the way the seeding worked back in those days. And then Vancouver, St. Louis, Toronto, Edmonton, and Winnipeg. So the worst team in the league is still the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. They have 22 points. Alright, so as far as our stats go, I think Brian Bradley is probably at or very close to a point per game. Now, he had a pretty good month. Yeah, he's pretty close. So, Bradley has 49 points in 51 games. Then Sean Chambers is having a pretty good season, 36 in 51. Then Mikael Anderson is also close to a point per game. He's 35 in 42. Danton Cole is 32 in 51, and then it starts to go down from there. So, I think overall we look a little bit more rounded and a little bit better than we did last year for sure. And then in the entire league, is Ray Shepherd still the best goal scorer? Yes, he is. 38 goals. That's 2 more than Brettel and Mario Lemieux. Then Brian Leach is still atop the best passers, but he's been caught up by Mike Modano and Joe Nieuwendyk. They all have 55 assists, and the best player right now is Mike Modano with 90 points. So the Stars here are doing pretty good, or at least some of their players are. Alright, so Rob DiMaio still pretty good at face-offs. And Marc Bergevin's still pretty good at blocking shots, but he did miss a few games, so now Jamie McCown is first. Alrighty folks, so that's the end of this video. So now in the next video, before shooting it, what I'm gonna do is, since it's February, I'm gonna look at all of my expiring contracts. I'm gonna make contract offers to the players that I want to keep, and then I'm gonna probably put everybody else on the trade block and see if I can recoup some talent in exchange for some players that I don't want to keep. Sometimes you get a really good offer, most of the time you don't, but who knows. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and save the game here, and we're done for today. So as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in, and if you've liked the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff, and until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.